שלום לכולם ישראליתים באפריקה, באמריקה, צפון אמריקה, בדרום אמריקה, מרכז אמריקה, אירופה, אסיה, אפריקה, מזרח התיכון, ויהוה ברוך כל אתם יכול לפתוח עיניים לתורה, חוקים ומשפטים. And here the elder Assaf Benami, Crispin, Levi, and I would like to greet all the Israelites all over the world, in Brazil, in the Middle East, in Africa, in Asia, in North America, South America, Central America, and Oceania, and Europe, and Asia. And our aim is to wake up the Israelites from 12 tribes to return back to the Torah, the eternal covenant, like our forefathers in past were. Well, and in this day, we have, or you are in the fifth day of Hag Matzot, unleavened bread, which will end in Friday, next Friday, day 22nd. And now we're going to continue with the reading of the mitzvot of Torah. And I would like to call your attention for the reading of the item 100H3. The priests and Levites must be given cities to live in. Numbers, Bemidbar, chapter 35, verse 12 to 5. Let's read it. Bemidbar 35, chapter 35. Verse 2 until the 5. Command the children of Israel that they shall give the Levites cities to dwell in from the inheritance of their possession. Also give the Levites open land around the cities, and they shall have the cities to dwell in, and their open land for their cattle, and for their herds, and for all their livestock. And the open land of the cities, which you give the Levites, or from the wall of the city, outward 1,000 cubits all around. And you shall measure it outside the city, on the east side 2,000 cubits, and on the south side 2,000 cubits, and on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits. And the city is in the middle. This is to then the open land for the cities. Well, the Israelite people needed to give the cities to Levites to live in. It's a commandment of the Eternal One, the Eternal Yahweh. The Levites didn't have possession in the midst of Israelite people. And they lived off the Maaserim tithe, the Trumot, the offerings, and all kind of Trumot of offerings. And sometimes they received like as termot offerings, the cattle, lands, and gold, kesef, and they needed to keep it in one place. They needed to dwell in a house. Sometimes they want a house like the offering as well. Well, and we can see here that Moshe, Yahweh spoke to Moshe in the desert plains of Moab by the Jordan of Jericho, saying, command the children of Israel, it was the ordinance from the Eternal One, Yahweh. Command the children of Israel that they shall give the Levites cities to dwell in from the inheritance of their possession. Also give the Levites open land around the city, and then open land around the cities, and they shall have the cities to dwell in their open land for their cattle, the cattle that they won from the people, like the offering, and for their herds, and for all their livestock they got from the people, goats, calves, and cows, and they received from the people several kinds of offerings, and they needed to store it. And here, in the open land of the cities which you give the Levites, or from the wall of the city outward 1,000 cubits all around. The Eternal gave the measures, okay, for the city that the Levites lived, okay. And you shall measure outside the city, on the east side 2,000 cubits, and on the south side 2,000 cubits, and on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits. And the city is in the middle of the city, okay. This is to them the open land for the cities. Well, let's see this item 183 of the Torah in Job's time, Yaakov's time, Abraham's time, because the Torah in that time was called Torah Halapeh, or Halpeh Torah, oral law. 183. Bereshit 47, Bereshit 47, Bereshit 47, chapter 47, verse 22. Only the ground of the priests he did not buy, for the priests had a portion allotted to them by Pharaoh, and they ate their portions, which Pharaoh gave them. Therefore, they did not sell their grounds. We can see that because that great famine in Mitzrayim, Yahusef bought all the lands for Pharaoh, all the cereals for Pharaoh, and stored it. But the series of the priests, the Egyptian priests, Yahusef did not buy, because they received a portion from Pharaoh. They received land from Pharaoh, and Pharaoh guarded this important commandment of the Torah, the priests and Levites must be given cities to live in. These Kohanim, these Egyptian priests, they represented the Levites. Why that? Because if you see the Torah, in Vaikra, in Vaikra chapter 18, verses 24 to 27, Vaikra. Vaikra 18, chapter 18, verse 24 to 27. Vaikra 18, verses 24 to 27. Do not defile yourself with all this, for by all these the nations are defiled, which I am driving out before you. Thus the land became defiled. Therefore I punish it for its crookedness, and the land vomited out its inhabitants. But you shall guard my laws and my right rules, and do not any of these abominations. The native nor stranger who sojourns among you, because the men of the land, the other nations, who were before you, have done all these abominations, and thus the land became defiled. The Egypt received as well the commandments of the Eternal One. And the Pharaoh and some of them yet remember this mitzvah, this commandment of the Torah, to give the land to the priests. And because that Yahushua didn't buy the land of the Egyptian priests, because it is written in the Torah that doesn't buy the land of the priests. Well, let's go to this item 183 in the Torah in Yahushua's time, in Talmudim's time. Okay. 183. To prepare cities for the Levites. Luke chapter 1, verse 26 and 27. Luke chapter 1, verse 26 and 27. Luke chapter 1. And in the 6th month, the messenger Gabriel was sent by Elohim to a city of Galilee named Nazareth, to a maid engaged to a man whose name was Yahusef, of the house of David, and the maid's name was Miriam. Then we can see that Galilee, Nazareth, was one of the city of the Levites that the Eternal One had ordained to them in the past. Okay? And let's go to the other item in the Torah, item 184. Build a guardrail around a roof. It is flat and used as a living space. and remove potential hazard from the home. Devarim 22:8. Devarim 22:8. When you build a new house, then you shall make a parapet for your roof, so that you do not bring blood guilt on your house when one falls from it. To make a parapet, a guardrail to protect the roof, that no one person falls from it to the ground and you will be dead. Well, it's a commandment of the Eternal One. When you build a new house, make this parapet, this guardrail, okay, around the roof. And let's read this item 184 in the oral law. To eliminate the danger of our household. Bereshit 33:17. Bereshit 33:17. Bereshit 33:17. And Yaakov set out to Sukkot, and built himself a house, and made booth for his livestock. That is why the name of the place is called Sukkot. Then you can see that Yaakov built a house, certainly with this ordinance, with a parapet, until the decade of 70. In Brazil, the people made it because the majority of people from northeast of Brazil, they were Jewish descendants, Israelite descendants. Okay. And now to finalize this item 184, to eliminate the danger of our households. Matitiahu, Matitiahu, chapter 7, verse 24, 25. Matitiahu 7. And Matitiahu chapter 7, verses 24, 25. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and does them shall be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain came down, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat on that house, and it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock. That the just ones follows according to the Torah. And to build a guardrail, a parapet, okay, around the roof, to protect the people that gets up on this house, to repair it, and to make something in it, okay, and so who or he can't, or Abulam, fall down, me eat. It's very important to follow the commandments of the Torah. And we stopped here in the item 184. Shalom lekulam Yoah Baruch Ata v'ramishparagam. Zo rabracha shel Zaken Asaf. Lekol Israelites, lekol Israel. Shalom, shalom.